The Kremlin chimes may be the ultimate symbol of constancy. After all, a clock has been mounted in this spot for at least 400 years. But these days it is counting down to the moment of change. They waited for years, only now they act in the nick of time. With the deadline just hours away, 2 candidates are still expected to file the necessary paperwork later on Wednesday. This will bring the number of presidential contenders to 5. For some, plenty of alternatives. For others, nothing but a Hobson's choice. Punctuality is not Vladimir Zhirinovsky's strongest trait, but it did help him become a front-runner in the presidential race, if only for an hour. This flamboyant politician, known for his unconventional language and even stronger actions, was the first to formally register his candidacy. And he says this is just a prelude for being first at the polls.
If the election is free and fair, I have a good chance of winning. I know that because I've crisscrossed the country dozens of times.
Just an hour later, and here's another candidate. The leader of the communists, Gennady Zyuganov, must feel nostalgic about the red stars on the Kremlin towers, but it doesn't stop him from driving an expensive car and appreciating fine clothes. This is all part of the new communist ideology that he says will take Russia forward rather than back to the past.
The entire country will become our election battlefield. We'll be fighting for the hearts and minds of all voters. This will be the most important election in years, and the party of power is already panicking.
The party of power is represented by this man. Dmitry Medvedev has already secured 1 vote that can give him the support of millions, but he doesn't stop there. Since his nomination in December, Medvedev has been crisscrossing the country non-stop. His camp claims his extensive travels are part of his duties as first deputy prime minister and have nothing to do with campaigning. But his popularity ratings have been rising ever since.
I'm not scared, but a bit excited. I have to justify the trust of a large number of people who believe I'm fit for this very difficult job. I'm consumed by both excitement and the feeling of responsibility.
We are returning back to the times of Soviet stagnation, says this voter.
No, it's much worse.
Mikhail Kasyanov didn't always have such a grave outlook. 8 years ago, this former prime minister raised glasses with Vladimir Putin, but now he's vying to succeed him. After several opposition leaders withdrew from the race, Kasyanov is seen as the most hostile to the current Kremlin leadership.
The Kremlin has retained some common sense, and it understands that free and fair elections are the only option for the country. Otherwise, Russia would be thrown into chaos.
Come on, give me a smile.
Collecting signatures is no laughing matter. Both Kasyanov and another independent candidate, Andrei Bogdanov, had to collect 2 million of them in order to be formally registered for the race. Both plan to submit them later Wednesday. But analysts say, regardless of the last-minute scramble, the winner of the race is a foregone conclusion.
There will be 4 or 5 candidates, but the problem is that the runner-ups, most probably Mr. Zyuganov of the Communist Party and Mr. Zhirinovsky of the Liberal Democratic Party, will capture between 10 and 15% each. They are not capable of crossing the 20% benchmark, definitely. So the competition will be low, and it will tell on all the character of the campaign.
With the last deadline just hours away, the presidential race is entering its final mile. And while all contenders talk about finishing in the Kremlin, in this race the competition for silver is much closer than for gold. Oksana Boyko, Russia